Welcome back. Brown Sugar is a phenomenal comedy show that is taking the comedy scene by storm. Now, this extraordinary show, curated by a team of talented individuals, brings together touring comedians nationally from all over the country and the globe. And joining us now is Brown Sugar's comedy producer, Ishmael Gaynor, and co-host Derrick Gonzales. Gentlemen, good to have you.
Hi,
Hey,
We shared a little comedy before the segment went on. Like, thought I was talking to myself. I'm like, no, somebody in my ear I'm actually talking to, but it makes you look crazy. It doesn't anybody know anything. But good to have y'all.
Good having you.
Yes, brother.
Being here.
And it's a wonderful opportunity to really be able to talk about comedy in a time like this because, you know, there's so much that's making us cry and so much making us shake our head.
Yeah.
You guys are bringing comedy to a new way.
Yeah. We got a show over in Harlem at the Shrine. We do it every Sunday, 6 p.m. And our thing was to do something for Harlem community. At the time we started the show, there was no comedy club in Harlem, so there was no way to for us to be able to, you know, for us to see national really good comics that were coming up to be able to get, you know, to get good jokes to the people, you know, outside of y'all being able to see them like on Def Comedy Jam or whatever. And at that time they weren't even doing anything. So like, So we fit that good market of like, you know, just being able to get good comedy to the community, you know.
What do you feel is the difference maker for your comedy show as opposed to the regular comedy shows that anybody else sees?
Well, in New York City, most of comedy shows are like showcase shows, I guess you would say. Like it's like about like 5. You see like 5 to 10 different comedians. Our shows, we keep a small lineup. It's just me, him. It'll be like 3 comics. And we try to keep it a vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like everything a vibe, a wave, you know, good times, good vibes. We have live bands sometimes.
Yeah, so it's
come
very
as well.
fun. But also we try to have people like comics that's within the community, and also just other comics that just happen to be in New York City, and try to give everybody a different flavor of just like America or just honestly the world, because we have people from everywhere just dropping in, telling jokes.
Yeah. What's it like for you to be able to see a crowd come in and then have them leave laughing?
Oh, that's the best feeling. Just having them like, just going like, they like, there's a moment where like they're laughing, they look at you, they start laughing again because they think about the joke you just said. They're like, okay, you're good. And then walk off happy. That's fantastic for me.
I think the best feeling is when like right before the show, they'll be like, hey man, y'all funny? And we'd be like, no, we funny. And then afterwards they'd be like, no, y'all was really funny. Let's take a picture. You'd be like, all right, cool. Like that's a good feeling, you know, like, because we unknown, so you know, it's cool. It's a cool vibe, you know.
What about the memorable moments? I mean, so what are some of the most memorable moments that you guys have had so far?
I would say there's a lot of moments.
You need a whole segment, you need a whole show?
It would be. We've had a few moments where like some relatively famous people came in just to drop in, just to like, they didn't necessarily perform, but they came just to show support. Like Trevor Noah came through like twice. He eats next door, so he just was like, "Oh, they doing comedy? Let me just poke in and just show support." We had Roy Wood Jr. come through, and a few other like well-known major established comedians come through, and so it's always dope whenever you get supported by the mainstream community as well as the local, you know, to be able to do what we do.
Yeah,
you know?
it's just the fact that they're showing love for like the art, and they're like, we know the grind, you guys doing it well. Yeah. That thing always like gives us that extra like battery in our pack.
Right. Yeah. You know, I told you before, I'm from Harlem, and you know, when I grew up, there was a comedy place. It was Uptown Comedy Club, right down the block, right? You know, but now being the hub for comedy right in Harlem, talk to me about what you see today in like the industry changing, because you know a lot has changed in the comedy industry.
Yeah. Well, now I feel it's a great place because it's more on an individual versus before it used to be like a gatekeeping aspect where like some of our best talents wouldn't be able to be seen. It would be like a selective few would get the opportunity. Now we get to get, you know, we have YouTube channels such as Chocolate Sunday. They're in Los Angeles. They're able to have their shows be viral and stuff like that. They have like different stuff. It's in our hands. You know?
Right. So like,
we create our own shows and do stuff.
Yeah, it's the fact that it's more empowering, that it's like literally, you're just like, it's you, and then take whatever you want and do what you want to do with it. That's like the best feeling too right now. Yeah. So I feel like comedy's in a really good place.
So what if I'm a young comedian and I'm really just trying to get my start? Are you the place I need to come to?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
We ain't got no time for flopping, bro. No, we ain't got no time. Go down the block and try your stuff out and then come back and see us.
Yeah, it's you know, usually when people come through, we want them to know like that these are really good comedians. These are like well-established comics. Some of these are people are going to be getting a Netflix special or about to put out their own comedy special independently. So that's what we try to keep it like that. But if there is a new person, we've had some people that try their stand-up the first time at our show. So like, you know, we try to maintain for the community as much as we can. But we would prefer them to go somewhere else. I'm joking.
Magic Johnson Theater's down the block. Right? Yeah.
More so what it is.
Yeah.
There's always the A train.
Yeah, that's it. 125th, you can get it on right there. Listen, so for yourself, talk about what you feel you're really bringing to the table. Because I think to a certain extent, you're bridging a gap, right?
Yeah.
Because comedy is much needed. And in finding places, you know, you got to go downtown, got to go to Broadway, stuff like that. But here it is right there in the hood. Talk to me about how you feel like that's even bridging the gap.
I mean, I think it just it's great because we get to be the first time that people get to see a show. A lot of times people have only seen shows on Netflix or HBO, like, you know, if Def Comedy Jam from like the 90s. So if we're their first live show, I think we're a good introduction to what comedy should be like. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's two people we just vibing, we joking about the community, we joking about, you know,
current events,
you know, all of that type of stuff.
Right.
And then we get to talk about national news as well, and then bringing up some of our cool friends that haven't dropped through that week. So, you know, it's a good vibe.
So,
like that.
What's your favorite part about what you're doing right now?
Honestly, the community aspect is probably the biggest. I think that's the thing that keeps us going back every week, is because like it'd be weird. Like I'll do other shows around the city. You know, we don't just do that one, but like we'll go to other places and people be like, "Hey man, I came to your show at Brown Sugar." Like it'd be crazy because sometimes I'll go to other states sometimes and like, you know, I'll go to Atlanta. I remember this lady ran up into me at Atlanta at Uptown Comedy Theater, and she kind of was just like, "Yo, I saw you at your show at Brown Sugar." And I was like, "You live in Atlanta?" Like, you know, like, it's like wow, but like people do come through Harlem a lot. It's a lot of people come through, and so it's a dope aspect to get that love from people and knowing that we're gonna be there every Sunday.
Just every Sunday, just knowing I could have a great time, go out, and then like me making sure people are like leaving and like having a good week.
Right.
I know I'm gonna have a good week because I'm just like, we did our job, and then next week again, do the same thing over again.
Yeah, it's a good way to get into your Monday. I mean,
as well. Yes.
Listen, if I got to go to some pain on Monday, at least let me laugh my way into it, right?
Exactly.
So, jokes on Sunday.
What's next? That's why what's coming up next for y'all?
We're working on doing more, like a few more venues and stuff like that. We wanted to expand to the Bronx as well, and we're also in Brooklyn doing a show. We do it like bi-weekly in Brooklyn right now, but we're working on doing a show here in the Bronx. And hopefully we want to start getting some independent specials out of these aspects and something taped so we can start putting it out on the internet and stuff. But that's basically the next wave.
I've always wanted to know, where does the content come from for you? I mean, you know, you look around, you see current events, you say, okay, I got to clown somebody on this right here.
Yeah, pretty. Like,
90% that. I'll say like a lot of it come from like personal experience. Sometimes you'll have stuff that happen to you. It's easier to make fun of you than somebody else. But of course, you know, anything
and just
that
life
happens
stories.
in the news,
you know what I mean? Just like walking down the stairs, I fall. I'll be like, man, I gotta talk about this.
Yeah. People have all been through that type of stuff, so it's a good way of cathartic.
What do people like to hear the most when it comes to comedy? Is it your personal experience? Is it talking about a celebrity? Is it, you know, what is it?
I think it's like a little bit of both. Just like personal, but like you can relate to it.
Right.
And then when you talk about celebrities, just like we all know what happened to this guy.
Yeah.
And that's even more fun.
I feel like they like a balance. So like they like to hear about you, but they also like to be roasted a lot. I don't know why. There's like a good community of people who just like roast me. Please come to the show and talk about me. And it's like I don't know you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna roast your outfit, but I ain't gonna go too far. You know, like, and then like sometimes people like the current events, like you to be up on topics. And I think when you combine all of that, that's what makes like your set really dope.
Yeah.
You know, like it make you really on it, you know?
Y'all go easy on John Moran, okay?
Yeah. I was just about to say him, too. Like 2 seconds ago. He was like, current event. I was like, yo, John, he wild.
I feel like he's going to be a part of his set really soon.
Oh, yeah. We got to talk about it for the community.
Yeah. Well, listen, I want to thank y'all for coming. Tell people where to go, what time to show up.
Okay. We're at the Shrine every Sunday, 6 p.m. at Adam Clayton, 2271 Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard.
Yep.
We're there at 6 p.m. every Sunday. If you want to get tickets, you can find us at Eventbrite. We also have an Instagram page at Brown Sugar Comedy Show, and or you can DM us individually and get a ticket.
At Funny Guy Ish and officially Derrick Gonzales.
Yeah.
All right. You said 2271.
Yeah. Adam Clayton Powell.
That's the mailing address, bro. What street?
I'm sorry. 134. My fault. Yeah, that's,
I mean, if you want the check to be mailed, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, good to have y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I got to stop by, check you guys
Definitely.
out.
Yes, please,
Definitely.
sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming through.
No
All
problem.
right. Again, the Brown Sugar Comedy Show is happening every Sunday, 6 p.m. until August 13th. Make sure to check them out at Shrine World. That is the music venue, 2271. That's 134th Street, y'all. Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard. If you're from around the way, we call that 7th Avenue. All right, now, for more information, you can follow them on Instagram at brownsugar.com. Oh, I should say Brown Sugar Comedy Show. Yeah. And we tell you don't go anywhere, because guess what? Back with more Open coming up right after this.
Yes, sir.